So one of my favorite things about this rack, this is the X bars from Extrusion Overland, is it allows you to still have a tonneau cover on there. Cool thing about that is it keeps your bed covered and mostly protected. As you can see right here, there's about a 1/4 inch plate that goes underneath. And so I added some weather stripping underneath there. It's kind of hard to tell, but if you're doing this, definitely add some weather stripping. Even ran some wires from this chase light underneath, and then you can make all your connections in here. But that being said, it does make it kind of difficult to get to your gear sometimes. So I made this slider. It's made out of a couple sheets of plywood. Slides in and out like that. Some reflectors so I don't run into it at night. And then it's a strap here to help hold everything together. So you've got a piece underneath and a piece on top. And then I use this as a handle right here. And this is a lock. If you don't lock it in place, it slides around a little bit. So you want to make sure you cut your plywood a couple inches narrower than the wheel wells. It's the same thing on the other side here. And then in the bed here, another strap on the front there. I noticed it was kind of starting to pull out at the sides. And these are 1-inch ball bearings from Harbor Freight. They're like $1 or $2 a piece. I believe there's 48 of them in there. You can see the wood starting to come apart a little bit in there. This is still way cheaper than a metal pre-made slide out like this. I think this was about $250 total. And here I've got some pictures from when I actually put this together. Unfortunately, that was before YouTube, so I wasn't quite ready for that. Anyway, these are when I got the boards cut. I measured everything out so that it would fit in snug and tight in there, but still give me some room for everything else. Again, just measure that out for your vehicle. Figure that out. This was when I was painting them also. I used actually deck sealant from Sherwin-Williams with some black paint in there, just make it look a little bit more professional and be waterproof. This is just normal wood. It's not pressure treated or anything like that. So this kind of shows the middle part. You've got your sides that just act as a rail to hold the plywood on the rollers, make sure it doesn't slide off. That's going to be screwed in from the outside, so make sure you leave room in that when you're measuring. And then you do have the little top rail on there to hold it down. The ball bearings are 1-inch roller ball bearings. You can find those at Harbor Freight. I just looked, they were $1.99. This one used 48 of them total, and that was kind of the worst part of the whole thing, was drilling and screwing these in 48 times. The spacing of the ball bearings is going to change depending on how big of a vehicle you're doing this for, but I wanted to make sure they were all lined up straight in case I needed to add any metal on the bottom side of the top plywood as a roller or a track or something like that. I might have to do that. I've noticed it's starting to kind of tear down the wood there. Here you can see, once I got all those bearings installed and got it into the truck, there is about 1 inch or 2 of space on either side, but I haven't had any issues with it sliding back and forth. And those ball bearings nice and lined up, so I can add metal there if I need to in the future. And here's once I got that top sheet on there. You can see you can pull it out pretty much all the way. You're just putting a lot of stress on that top rail as you're doing it. So I like to try to load the heavier things towards the middle or front, and all of that weight's going to rest on the tailgate. If you've got it loaded down, it does get a little bit heavy to try to push in, but it's definitely manageable for one person to do. Not sure of the maximum weight of this, but I've never had any issues with it. Like that. So, pretty easy. You just screw in from the top to hold that in. Definitely pre-drill your holes or you'll split the wood. And then there's a little cutout there for the lock to go into. But as you can see, it takes up most of the bed here. You do have a couple spaces at the front for stuff. And I even put this riser here to hold my traction boards out of the way. So all in all, this makes it much easier to get your gear in there. And then I also have another thing up here that holds the gear out of the way so it doesn't fall. That definitely needs to be extended because the chainsaw fell out this morning. But not too bad, you can just climb in and get it. Let me know in the comments down below how you would have done it different, or if you see some ways that I can improve it. This is my first attempt at this, so I'm sure there's other ways that'd be better. Let me know down there. And just leave a comment in general. It helps to grow the page. Check me out on Facebook and Instagram. And like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.